Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsockеtradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
It is Coffee Ann right here on WOON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us this morning. It is Monday. It's a new month. It's March 2nd. Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Joe Callahan. Nice to have you along with us at the Coffee Ann table. Let's say good morning and hello to former mayor of the town of Cumberland, Bill Murray's with us. Hey, Bill.
Good morning, Joe. How are you today?
Good. Nice to have you here with us.
It's always a pleasure.
We expect Melissa Murray to be joining us as well. Usually Dave is with us on Mondays, but Dave could not be with us today. He's got a couple of days off. Lucky him. So. So while the cat's away, Bill.
Well, that's it. That's okay.
that's what we're doing here, and so let's see. Sometimes you're like, oh gee, well, what are we going to talk about on Coffee Ann?
Yep.
Some days it's a little more difficult than others. Today, it's really easy.
I would think so.
Because
with
of
everything going on, absolutely.
Everything that happened over the weekend.
Oh.
Let's at the bombing of Iran,
right.
The joint venture between the United States and Israel, and knocking out the in quotes, I'm going to put it, supreme leader
right.
over there. And so Bill, it's like that for me. I don't know where you stand, but I've been waiting for this day for 47 years. 47 years ago was 1980,
yep.
Roughly.
I'm with you.
And I was, as soon as the hostages came home.
Yep.
Because I can remember those days. I said, why aren't we blowing these guys out of the water?
Yeah.
And I feel bad for the Iranian people. It's the government that
absolutely.
Not happy
Look how
with.
many people have been killed over there.
Yeah. And so
thousands.
You're right. And that never happened. I'm like, well, it must have been the deal that Reagan made with them at the time. And nothing's ever happened since then. And the regime has just got, I didn't think anything was going to be worse than the Ayatollah Khomeini that took the hostages. I didn't think anything was going to be worse than him, but I was wrong.
Yep, right.
And the one they just took out, he was actually worse as the leader over there. But now he's gone, so which is good. And what I love seeing about these things is the people taking to the streets, first of all, over the United States, celebrating. The Iranian people are thrilled that this guy's gone.
You still have the protesters out there, and that bothers me more. And I'm a Democrat, as everybody knows, a long time Democrat. I am so fed up with the Democratic Party, I'll say it very publicly, is that Obama helped Iran out.
Yes, gave him money.
Biden even was worse, giving them $9 billion just to help them on there. All the signs of what was happening, and now you see these politicians, our local politicians, friends of mine, and that I've known through the period of time, getting up and saying, well, we shouldn't do this, Congress should. They haven't broken any rules. They have to. How can they go in and tell Congress secretly what's going to happen? It's going to leak. Especially with some of these people that are in Congress. And this thing was orchestrated so well, so quickly by both U.S. and Israel. And what I got last night, which was really amazing, Canada is behind us, and we're having, we have a little problems with Canada, but France just got behind it. So you're getting these countries that know the damage that Iran, this higher supreme leader has done, and the killings that they've done, and let's say this. We couldn't get, somebody got on one of our, I see Melissa just walked in, and I said, being an old-time Democrat, I hate to talk about this, but a Democrat got on there and said, oh, there were no signs that this had to be done. This is Kane from Virginia. Are you kidding me? No signs? They were building, and every day that was lost, they're building more and more, at a point that we weren't going to be able to do something like this. And I'm not a Trump fan, but I give him credit that he has the guts to deal with what he has to deal with, and move forward on it. And it's I think it's the best thing that's ever happened.
All right, Melissa Murray is here, like Bill said.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. You want to take the other side, Melissa?
No.
Oh, okay, all right, fine.
Well,
but
good,
I mean,
because
I
I
would
was
say it was
walking
like-
out. No.
But I do think, in this day and age is where everything is just seems so uncertain and tenuous, it is scary, right?
Yep.
You're like, oh gosh, what's going to happen? Are they going to retaliate? Are we going to be able to defend ourselves? So, I think it's just a very scary time. We're going into another war. But
I don't think it's gonna be another war.
No.
It's just be another.
well,
Let's call it a military action until and then it's done. And then it's done.
Thus far, military action.
Yeah.
That's what we're hoping.
Right?
Yeah.
Fingers crossed, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the question comes up, and I don't have an answer for it. It's rhetorical. But how do these protests? How do those signs get made so quickly and dispersed out to these protest marches that say get out of Iran or whatever they were saying? Did you see them?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. They
see it,
are.
Melissa?
But
No.
But they have an
professionally done.
organization. Well, let's be honest about it. There's an organization there that is well funded. The same thing happened up in Minnesota, and everywhere you see one of these big, kind of riots, and these organizations are all set to go. They talk about, you see a truck pull up at one of these protests, and the truck's being unloaded and everything. So they're well funded, and there's no question of how they get started. And but going back to, I don't think I cannot see a war because we're just destroying them, that they can't move. What's going to happen is, in my opinion, is some uncertainty with the oil, and you're already seeing that.
That's already happening.
And that's a tough.
I'm like, I'm going to gas up yesterday.
Yeah.
right.
No, but
Gas up now.
I think they'll eventually. And now, on the way in this morning, they were saying that the Iran leadership, whoever's running it now, is trying to block some of these ships on the. You'll have to help me on the strait there with all the oil.
Hear it.
Yeah, and they're
forget the name
starting
of
to
it.
block them
Yeah,
now.
there'll be some uncertainty
So you're
with
going to
the
have
oil
uncertainty
prices.
there,
Yeah,
but we had to stop it, or they were building and building, and
Going towards
remember in
nuclear weapons,
these new negotiations, they kept refusing to say yes, we'll do this or we'll do that. So at some point you had to say that's enough.
That's enough.
Enough is enough.
So there will be. I don't know if you're going to be down at the. Oh no, I thought this was a State House. There's another anti-protest going on. That's going to be today. They're meeting in front of Providence City Hall.
Good.
In case
That's
you
a good place for them.
In case you want to go, at 5:30 this afternoon. So that's what's going on there.
I love a good protest.
I love good protest.
I do. No, I do.
I
do.
that. Oh, I love a good protest.
I
That's a
do.
good one,
Yeah. Still waiting for my Soros check. Never got that.
Oh,
I just filing my taxes. I didn't get any W-2 and I didn't get a 1099. But no, I mean, I think there are organizations that look, they can print like massive amounts of posters. It's not hard to do.
Yeah.
So you pull up where folks are already upset and you start handing them out. And yeah, of course, like there's always going to be protests, right? I was criticized for, which I did. I went to one of the No Kings protests,
Okay.
and I was criticized for that, saying that I don't deserve to hold public office because I was at the protest.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
excuse me. Everybody has a right to do whatever they have.
Isn't that our fundament? Like that's kind of like why we exist,
Yeah.
right?
Right,
As a
exactly.
country,
Yeah,
like no, I wasn't throwing tea
another country, you'd
into
be
the,
shot.
Yeah,
They wouldn't be telling you to leave.
Right. But that's the beautiful thing, right? Like that we're able to do this as long as and it was peaceful. It was peaceful. There wasn't one person like, being all crazy or whatever. But like, yeah, that's our right. Whether you agree or disagree with this administration, the previous administration, the one before that, like, yeah, go ahead and exercise your right.
Well, U.S. Senator from Rhode Island, Jack Reed, says he will vote in favor of a war powers resolution requiring President Trump to stop military action against Iran within 30 days. The Democrat is criticizing the White House. Really, no surprise there. For going to war.
Excuse me. He hates. I know Jack very well.
Yeah.
And he
So does Melissa,
hates
yeah.
Trump
Yeah.
tremendously. But
But he's also pretty. He's a pretty conservative Dem. Like
Okay.
he's not.
He's
he's not left.
He says
I'll say
He's
it.
moderate.
He says
Yeah.
the White House can't go to war without authorization from Congress, saying the president cannot continue to ignore the Congress and the American people, and expects support of this war of choice. Reid says that the president can go to war without congressional approval. Can he nationalize the elections without congressional approval, contrary to the Constitution?
It's not
quote,
true.
by the way.
It's not true. Other presidents have done it. Obama did it.
Clinton did it.
Clinton did it.
Biden did it.
And nobody argued on that. And again,
Yeah.
I'm arguing against my party.
No.
But Jack Reed, again, being a good friend, a lot of the stuff that was done with Biden, Jack Reed went along with it completely.
Yeah.
Never, and I was disappointed. I've told him this, so I'm not saying anything out of school.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very disappointed in it. And he doesn't. I guess his only non-answer to me was that he just has, and how a lot of people have such a hatred for Trump. That's
That we just go
that's
against
the
them
bottom
no matter
line.
what.
Yeah. They,
All right.
I think they get lost in the forest. Is really what I look at.
So it's not going to end anytime soon. You just hear all sorts of different reports of they've shot missiles at Lebanon. They're shooting them at Israel.
Yeah.
Kuwait. It's all Saudi Arabia. I heard that.
And we've had
yesterday, too.
three killed already.
3 killed,
Yeah.
5 injured or so.
Yeah.
And unfortunately,
Which
the
you hate
president-
to see.
You do, and the president says it's probably going to be more. I'm like, oh,
No,
great.
I mean, I would think you would, but here again, now the Saudis have come out and said we're going to get it. We're going to support the U.S. and Israel.
Guess who's not supporting us?
I didn't hear anything.
Russia.
Russia.
Yet. Oh, that is a
Pu-
surprise.
Putin already came out and said, you can't do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like,
It's interesting. I haven't heard a word about China.
nope, I haven't heard anything there.
And China relies on Iran for oil, for like
Okay.
40%. I think I heard.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I'm not sure. But
One of the, people always try to use humor.
Yeah.
when bad things like this happen. And oh my
That's
gosh,
me. I'm saying
one of the absolute funniest things I saw
Yeah.
over the weekend was the leader of North Korea, Kim Jong Un.
oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
There is on the phone, just saying, Don, we're cool, right?
yeah. That's
Everything good there.
well.
Okay,
There's
we'll
been
just stay out of it.
there's been heavy criticism of why he's not going into North Korea. And
Nothing we need there.
well,
Exactly.
exactly, but
Yeah.
it's also there's so many calculations put into this thing. I mean, they're just not going in bombing a place until they really know how dangerous this is going to be to our country, or our strong allies. But it's North Korea is not a threat until it's a threat. One of those deals, and so.
Well, how about this? Stop having rallies in your country that keep saying "Death to America."
Oh, absolutely.
Stop doing
No,
that.
No. Yep. Yeah.
And
Well, I
maybe-
can't.
I don't know if everything was
I can't.
fine, but
I can't remember whether it's. Well, of course, it's Massachusetts, and but Warren Moakley or something like that came out with something that was so ridiculous, which was not a surprise at all.
I didn't hear anything about Elizabeth Warren. But Ed
No,
Markey-
she was on. She was.
Oh, was she? I know
Oh, yeah.
Markey came out against it, of course.
Yeah. Oh, he would.
Like,
He would. He
gee,
would.
there's
yeah.
a surprise.
Oh, and some of the biggest protests have been up in Boston.
Yep.
And
But the pro ones, the ones with showing all the Iranian flags, the American
Yeah,
flags,
yeah.
there's thousands more people at that.
well, we have a big contingent of Iranians here
Yeah.
in this country that are I was watching something over the weekend, and it was interviews, and they were so clear about one kid. I felt so bad for him, probably 25 to 30, crying, trying to explain that now my dad and mother can go back to their country.
Yeah.
They how many fled, but they want to
Yeah.
go back to their
Yeah.
home, to their homestead. And before it was so bad, and look
just
at
be
all
killed
the
if they went back.
hangings that Trump they were ready to do. I think it was 800 or something, and Trump stopped it and said, "You do that."
Oh, yeah.
This was back a month ago, very shortly. So their lives and they've killed what's it up to? 15,000 or something.
But do you think if the politicians on the federal level keep saying, all they keep yelling is illegal and unconstitutional? If we keep yelling that loud enough and long enough,
Yeah.
people will eventually agree.
Oh, there's people that agree.
Yeah.
There's no question. Look at Fetterman. Who would ever think Fetterman would be taking positions that he's taken? I mean, you wouldn't guess that in a million years. And I listened to him one night. I forget what he was on, and And I never liked him originally. I just thought
He's
he was
really done a turnabout, right?
Oh, what
my
a
gosh.
turnabout! It's like the state of the speech by Trump, and what happened there by again being a Democrat. And I know Melissa's a very good Democrat. I was embarrassed with the Democratic Party and how they. Not what they did is how they handle themselves. It's an embarrassment. I have a lot of obviously strong Democratic friends, and I never saw so many that were upset.
Okay.
You know,
we're going to take a break here in the Coffee and program, but more coming your way. Comments and questions can be called in at 766-1240. We got a note to get to when we come back here on Coffee and.
OM 1240.
They are open and ready to serve you. Lynn's Hibachi Buffet, Sushi, and Grill is serving freshly grilled hibachi, sushi, and classic Asian dishes. They offer sizzling steak, shrimp, and chicken made to order, plus a fresh sushi bar with 30-plus hand-rolled varieties daily and seafood, including crawfish, clams, mussels, salmon, and more. Great weekend specials, too. Be sure to follow them on Facebook. Lynn's Hibachi Buffet, Sushi, and Grill is open 7 days a week for lunch, dinner, and takeout. Lynn's Hibachi Buffet, Sushi, and Grill, 401 Clinton Street, Woonsocket, next door to the Woonsocket Motor Inn.
The Coffee and panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
Blackstone Valley's ON Radio.
It's Coffee and on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us this morning. Joe Callahan here with Melissa Murray and Bill Murray, former mayor of the town of Cumberland. And note that has been called in on a completely different subject. Here we go. And Bill, you probably agree with this because you were out there. How were things in Cumberland during the storm, during the blizzard?
I get mixed reviews.
Mixed reviews?
In
Okay.
my eyes, I think they did an excellent job.
Okay.
In most cases, but there's a lot of still side streets because I happen to be down at Town Hall doing some business at Town Hall, and I talked to a couple of people who used to work for me. So I'd say overall, and I've been through it, and I talk about the 2015 when I went in as mayor, and the governor at that time said to me, now I can go home and sit and put my feet up in the, meaning that you're in charge now.
Yeah.
I had 11 straight storms in 2015, and the total was over what we've got so far this year. And
Yeah,
in fact, I
2015 was,
texted him so
right.
people know. I texted him and I said, Dan, you remember this? And he remembered it, and I said, now look at what you're handling. So, I know firsthand, I've been out in all these storms, and how tough it is. In fact, one time during those storms, we eventually helped out Woonsocket because D'Agostino ran out of trucks that he needed.
At the time,
So
okay.
we were clear of everything. We loaned, we sent people over to help Woonsocket. So a lot of it has to do with also mutual help. Who gets really blasted.
The note says still many problems with both storms involved. The January storm followed with very sub-freezing temperatures for days, and plows could not engage the ice mounds. They're still around. And then the February storm added much to the problem. Going to hang around for weeks.
It is.
Because the melting's just not going to happen.
It will.
Although we're getting
Getting rain.
rain
Although
this week. That may help.
rain tonight.
February storm was well addressed. January storm is the residue that's still the problem. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
it's going to happen.
We haven't had this much snow
know.
ever, literally. So, I think Woonsocket's done a really fantastic job. There's nowhere to put it,
I tried doing some shoveling over the weekend, just trying to do a
gosh.
little bit more
No,
clearing out
it's all
of the
frozen and stuff.
of the mailbox. I'm like, oh, it's just rocks.
It's it is.
If you can get through
You
it,
can't get-
underneath
yeah.
it
Yeah, you can't.
is okay.
Smush-
but
yeah,
that
yeah.
stuff on top is like, oh, this is awful.
Well, it looks like we're gonna go way up into the 60s next
So clear out
weekend,
the-
hopefully. So
Clear out the sewer grates if they're in front of your house. You don't
Yes,
get a
right.
pond.
We'll go flooding. We'll flooding.
But that's exactly.
Already had a roof leak this weekend, so like, yeah, I know. Yeah.
So on Saturday, on a different subject, we had something very cool happen. It was the ribbon cutting of the animal shelter.
Beautiful.
Here in Woonsocket. It was a beautiful day. We're getting quite a few views on our social media. Of Dave went down there and filmed the speeches that were going on. If you haven't seen it or weren't able to go,
you got to listen to the
great.
speeches, especially
John Brian
Yep.
told some very funny stories about his dad.
Yeah.
Because it's named after his dad.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
At the
Yeah.
Al
that's
Breen
nice. That's nice.
Animal Shelter,
Yep.
which is great. But one question, because someone asked on our Facebook page, Melissa, and I didn't have the answer, was is this a no-kill shelter? Do you know?
They're
I don't know.
They're a no kill. Yeah.
Okay.
All Rhode Island shelters.
Mostly, I was just going to
yeah.
say, because we merged our shelter, with Lincoln.
Lincoln's okay.
So Cumberland and Lincoln are together,
Okay.
and it's a no-kill.
Okay. Well, they asked about the new one here in Woonsocket, and they said,
I would think it would.
I would say
Well,
so, but I don't have.
But
officially,
Melissa, I think
I don't
just said
know.
it. I think it's.
She just said it's a no kill.
Yeah,
so,
right.
So that part's good. All right. So other things going on. The Lynch Arena in Pawtucket, Bill,
Right.
is open again.
I heard-
They've been closed since the shooting that
tough.
took place on February 16th, about 2 weeks ago. As we know, 4 people, including the shooter, died in what was believed to be a family dispute.
And now the grandfather died.
The grandfather died, but the family friend
He's out.
was just let out of the hospital.
And it's supposed to be, I don't know him, but he's supposed to be from, in fact, I was talking to Mayor Grebian, called me yesterday, and we were talking a little bit about it. I said, you're going through hell on this thing. And he said, you know what? He said, a great family, and it's just heartbreaking to see what's happened. And I know off the air, I said to you that I've spent hundreds and hundreds of hours in that place.
Oh, yeah.
With way back when my kids were playing, and now that my grandkids, I was there a week before, and that section is where I sit with Bob Campanelli, who is one of the grandfathers of my family, of my grandkids, and we sit in that same section. And I said to Joe, I met a woman Saturday at having a hockey skate shop, and her son played in that game, and she was there. And she said, I can't even talk about it. And I said, I understand that.
Yeah.
And
Trauma.
she said, how many times we've sat there.
Sure.
But the kids, this is what the sad part about it is. She said, even now, it's very hard to talk. My son doesn't want to talk about it. But the kids have rallied around themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, it's been wonderful. Now, Smithfield's done a great job of counseling. And they also have a setup where the kids can just go and sit. Nobody bothers them.
Yeah.
And
All right.
but it's I thought about it because I had a million calls because people know that I'm always in the arena. And in fact, I was in touch with the governor because he knows what a hockey nut we are, and we're always in it. And it's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, senseless.
But you know what? It's open, and I said this to some people the other day at another hockey arena, actually Mount St. Charles on Saturday, that I don't care where you are. Something
You're
like
never-
that.
you're not
you
safe
don't-
anywhere
you're not.
anymore.
A restaurant, a
Movie
movie
theater,
house,
no.
anything, right?
Walking
And-
down the street, you're
no,
not safe
and you can't, and
anywhere.
you can't stop your life. I mean,
No.
Oh, yeah, no,
yeah,
absolutely
you just
not.
have
You
to.
can't. Right.
So I'm glad it's open so that people. It's tough. I'd hate to be the first group that has to go in there. I mean that has to be.
Yeah,
a,
yeah,
be rough, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to handle it going in there myself in the next game, the next time
All
we
right.
have.
On the phone, we got Woonsocket City Council President Dan Gendron going to tell us about the agenda for tonight's Woonsocket City Council meeting that you can hear on ON Radio beginning at 7. Good morning to you, Dan.
Good morning. How's everyone doing?
Good,
Good.
good.
Hi,
Okay.
Dan. How are you?
I had to.
I'm well, thank you.
I had to run out when you were talking about the animal shelter, and you were saying how we got a lot of views on our Facebook page. And I
Yes.
just was going to say, before I went to go answer the phone, which happened to be Dan, is that if you have not seen the speeches, Council President Gendron gave a very moving speech. I may have chastised him for making me cry that morning, but I could not.
Good job.
help
By the way, he
it.
makes a lot of people cry.
No, it was
hey.
so like your speech was, and I know you don't usually read like off your speeches, usually go off the cuff, but I know you wanted to make sure, and you even said like I want to make sure I get this right. But it was just a really fitting tribute very moving, and just like a really nice, beautiful
Well,
new. It's gorgeous. I love it. I'm so happy.
the pictures look great
The
inside.
place is immaculate. It's
Yeah.
beautiful. There's a cat side. There's a dog side.
All right.
I tour both, but the only thing that I wish we had animals, because I think we could have adopted out a lot of animals that day. But
I think you're right. Yeah.
And no
But
surprise,
Melissa,
no
thank
surprise,
you.
Dan.
Thank you for those kind words. I
Yeah, no
appreciate
surprise, because I just said before we merged Lincoln, when I was mayor, Lincoln and Cumberland.
Yes.
And a new facility is so great for these, for the community and
Yeah,
for the
and for the animals.
animals.
Yep.
You know what's amazing, and Melissa is far more involved in this than I am. And you know, I've been to shelters, but when they were actually designing it, and we'd meet with the architect, and he would explain, you know, how you have that garage where you can bring them in, and then you open the door and you can decide if it's a quarantine or
Yep.
if it's a healthy.
brilliant.
It's really just so much thought went into
Yep.
the design of the building.
and the meet and greet
then
area, where
Yes.
you can like go and meet the dog, and it doesn't have to
Mingle.
be. Yep. There's a
wonderful.
little room where you can. Yeah.
So
All right.
wait a minute, Melissa.
Yeah.
That little meet and greet, that was for to meet with the animals? See, John Ward took me in there, and he said he wanted to meet with me, and that's what I thought that was for. So,
Now you know.
okay, now I'm starting to catch on.
You got
all
it.
right, all right. But I forgive you for making me. I may or may not have shed a tear. That's all.
All right.
Well, I shed a tear or two when I was writing it, and
Yeah.
it
I'm
was
sure.
easy because it really is. You know, Al's a good person. He was certainly devoted to animals in the city and abroad. So it was fitting for him.
Yeah.
All right. Tonight is the Woonsocket City Council meeting. So what stands out from the agenda tonight, Dan?
So there's only two ordinances. One, I'll go to the big one first, and that is at the last meeting, Director D'Agostino and the Public Safety Director had talked about the lack of compliance with people during snow emergencies for getting their cars off the streets, and they had talked about doing something with the fine schedule to be able to entice people more. He said, you know, a $50 fine and towing their vehicle wasn't enough, so we need to do something. So I had suggested a tiered approach, you know, first offense 50 and then 100 and 200. But after speaking with the chief and the public safety director, they said that was going to be far too complicated in the middle of a snow emergency to start trying to figure out which offense it was, and that they may not even have the database to be able to pull that up immediately. So we opted for there's going to be an increase in the fines for parking on the streets during a snow emergency. So it's, to be clear, it's specifically for snow emergencies or any type of emergency, no parking. And it's going to go from $50 to $100. And then you still risk the chance of having your vehicle towed if that's not enough. So I don't know what more we can do to let people know. Nobody wants to give a ticket. Nobody wants to get a ticket. So just get your car off the road when there's going to be a no parking for emergency purposes. So that's an ordinance we've got tonight. And then there's another one introduced by Councilwoman Fox, which talks about removing or eliminating the minimum parking requirement for future property development in the Monument Square, Main Street area. So I don't know all of the details. We'll see how she presents it tonight. And I don't know what the genesis is. We have in the past, we did the downtown overlay district, which somewhat addressed parking for those areas, but I don't know what the expansion is all about, so we'll learn more about that tonight.
Okay.
Hey, Dan, Bill Murray, just a question.
Yeah, hi, Bill.
Do you have
Yes.
do you have some offset parking for, cars that are on the streets and have nowhere to go?
We do. So we have we start this every fall. We introduce a new ordinance where we allow people to get permits to park during snow emergencies. They can park in a multiple of city-owned properties.
Oh,
so
good.
there's, you know, in the parks, we have parking lots that you can park there, and so we do this. There's Melissa, correct me, but there's probably like 10 or 12 locations, correct?
Yeah.
Just
10
from
municipal
memory,
lots,
so-
yeah.
That's
It's still
yeah.
$25, I think, right? It's very
It is,
affordable,
yes.
and it's good for like the whole season.
Oh, that's good.
So you can just put that little thing on and go to and park there,
Yeah.
and then
That's valuable because I know
Yeah.
we tussled with that when I was mayor, and we didn't have a lot of areas we could do that in, you know, because we don't have
Yeah.
municipal parking in a lot
Mm-hmm.
of places. But we had to do it because it wasn't fair. People that had to get their car off and where they could do it. Our trouble was we had people from Central Falls coming into Cumberland and putting their cars
Parking
into
it,
town.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
Well, that- and-
yeah, it's a mess.
Well, I had a call from one person on a small street here, and they said that it's a very small road, and they know all of the people, and they said that car did not belong
Right.
to anyone on that street. And, you know, they know each other, they talk to each other, and they said it was not a guest, it was not. So, you know, people think
Yeah.
as long as it's not in front of their house, they're okay, but that's not the case.
No, that's exactly.
All right.
We have four other. Do I have another minute?
Yeah, go ahead, Dan.
Okay, there's 4 resolutions, but 3 of them are to use city property, and one of them I really want to point out, and it's a new thing. It's a the USA Cycling Club. It sanctions these smaller races, they're road races on bicycles, and Tri-State Cycling Club, which is a local cycling club, is working with them to put on a sanctioned road race here in the city. It's going to be on July 12th, and it's going to be a road race. It's a Saturday, and I believe the actual race is like 12 to 3. It's a short duration, but it'll be people from all over coming in for this road race. So it's a new idea. It's something that I don't think. We've had other races that go through the city on the way to it's a longer route, but this is actually a road course where they're going to close some streets and have races. So it could be exciting. And
Yeah, it sounds like fun.
Sounds great.
We'll see how that goes. Yeah. So July 12th, we'll see how that if it gets passed tonight. But it seems like they've got their stuff in order, and hopefully it'll be something we can see. And that's my daughter's birthday, so I'm going to tell her I got a special bike race planned for her birthday.
That's a good one.
See that?
Are you in the race, Dan?
Oh, no. I do bike. I like biking, but
Not that.
these guys, if you've seen them, they're insane. I would not even come close to being able to compete in that.
I'm sure.
All right, great.
So, and then there's a few other little things, but that's about it. I just wanted to make mention of that.
All right, very good. So, Woonsocket City Council meeting can be heard live tonight here on ON Radio beginning at 7 o'clock from Harris Hall. Dan, thanks for calling in today.
Thank you, and have a good day, everyone.
You too.
Stay warm.
We
See
will.
you later, Dan.
Take care.
Thank you.
All right,
Bye-bye.
Dan Jernerin, Woonsocket City Council President, joining us here on the Coffee AM program. We're going to take a break right here, give you the weather forecast, and the forecast being brought to you by the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation.
Sunny skies today with a high of 29 degrees with a wind chill at 6 below and a north wind. Tonight, clear skies, overnight low of 8 degrees, light south wind. Tuesday's weather, a rain and snow and freezing rain mix going back and forth all day with increasing clouds and a high of 40 degrees, breeze from the south, little or no snow accumulation is expected. Tuesday night, rain and lots of it. A quarter to a half an inch of rain is possible with a temperature staying above freezing all night and staying as rain. Wednesday, leftover rain in the morning, mostly sunny skies for the rest of the day with a high of 50 degrees. Wednesday night, small chance of rain. Thursday, mostly cloudy skies, high of 46, 50-50 chance of some rain. Thursday night, 70% chance of more rain, especially after 9 o'clock. Cloudy skies, overnight low of 35. Friday, 60% chance of rain likely. Cloudy skies, 42. Saturday, a chance of rain, cloudy and 53. And on Sunday, mostly cloudy with a high near 59 degrees.
Outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street, we have a temperature reading of 18 degrees. The Crohn's and Colitis Foundation has been at the forefront of inflammatory bowel disease research and care for over 50 years. Learn more about research, education, and support at crohnscolitisfoundation.org.
Woonsocket Door Sales, a fourth-generation family business, has served southern New England since 1935. They can handle all types of projects from the simpler residential installations to more complex commercial projects, always concerned with infrastructure and framework for the perfect fit. They even install doors for fire stations and medical facilities. Installation and repair. Woonsocket Door Sales, 767-3448. They'll remove and dispose the old doors. Woonsocket Door Sales, 767-3448.
Have more fun this winter.
Come learn to ski and snowboard with us.
If it's been years since you last skied, this is the perfect place to return to learn.
Then you'll have all season to have fun.
Go to Wachusett.com for beginner discounts.
WOON AM and FM.
Coffee Ann here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us this morning. Joe Callahan here, along with Melissa Murray and former mayor, Town of Cumberland. Bill Murray is here. And we did get a note called in. Actually, it was an email that was sent to me, so it's a little on the longer side. This goes back to the whole thing going on with Iran. Yep. And the notice just says, but the president did brief Congress. It's a group called the Gang of Eight. It's not a literal gang. It's the 8 top congressional leaders, Speaker, House and Senate majority and minority leaders, and the chairs and the ranking members of the House and Senate Intelligence Committees. By the law, they're the small bipartisan group that gets briefed on the most sensitive intelligence or military operations. In a situation like Iran, a president can legally limit advance notification to just these 8 instead of briefing all of Congress. That doesn't mean they approve the operation. It just means they're the designated oversight group for highly classified actions.
That makes sense. Absolutely makes sense. So
it does.
I would really, believe that was done. Again, you can't brief everybody because somebody's going to leak something.
Someone's going to leak it. Yeah.
And that's when you're going to have trouble.
It is bipartisan, too. It's 4 and 4.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, good.
All right. Very good. Going back to the blizzard, thanks to crews and equipment that came from Connecticut, Maine, Vermont, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
The question is, New Hampshire's just sitting back doing nothing. I'm just. How come they didn't help out? New York came too. They came down the Mass Pike.
Well, New Hampshire probably couldn't find Rhode Island.
Vermont could.
Yeah.
Vermont's like step aside.
Hey.
Step aside. We know how to do
we
this.
Had it.
We've got the.
Well, it's funny because everybody thought I had family that was in Pennsylvania. They didn't really get hit. They got they were there at a tournament for my grandkids, and they didn't get hit. They got out of there all the time. But then you heard about Pennsylvania, so they did have because I know a lot of electric crews came out of. Because the parent company to Rhode Island Energy is out of Pennsylvania. So we were fortunate because if Pennsylvania got whacked, you were going to get too much help there. And but there was a lot of help that came in.
Yep.
Which is great. And that's why I mentioned earlier how mutual, like when we helped Woonsocket years ago, how mutual help, their aid is that's the way to do it. Because a lot of places don't have especially here, we don't have the budgets to have the different. Some of this equipment, is just for snow only.
Right. Yeah.
And they could sit for like probably in this last few years of no snow.
10 months.
Exactly.
11 months.
So you just it's not a good investment to buy something like this and have it sitting on your on your budget year after year and have one storm come in. So if you're able to share, it's a great thing.
The just as a public service announcement, you got to be aware of scams at all the time. And my daughter sent one. She was sent a text, and it said that she hadn't paid her tolls.
Yep, I
in
Massachusetts.
You get it all the time.
And she goes, "Is this a scam?" I said, "It sure is." And I pointed out a few things on it that prove that it's a scam. One, her name isn't on it anywhere.
Oh.
Actually, it would be my name because the car's actually she drives actually registered to me.
So you would have been good. So
I should have received it. But there's no name, there's no address, there's no registration of the car on the notice, and it also doesn't tell you how much you owe.
So they want you to click on the link.
Well, they
and
want
then,
they want you to scan the QR code. That's the new thing.
Yeah.
put your credit card number in, and then
I said here's a few other things that's wrong. Up at the top, it said the state of Massachusetts. No, it's the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. And they did the one thing they got right. They said, if you don't pay it, you got to go. You've been assigned to this courthouse this morning at 9 a.m, and they had the right courthouse with the right address.
Yep.
I said, okay, that's correct. But what also is not right is the date was March 2nd, 2026, and there's a comma after the 2, but there's no space for 2026. And there's a couple others where a word is capitalized in the middle of the sentence.
Yeah,
that's
usually
so this was a phone,
that's wrong too.
This was a phone text?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I said, by the way, the DMV doesn't have your phone number. By the
DMV
way.
doesn't text you.
They wouldn't do it, yeah.
No, you're gonna get it in the mail.
I said, this one's wrong.
These scams are really
Well, it's the first one I had seen, and I said, this is
I've seen that come across for us.
Yeah, all right.
And
so don't pay it.
No,
because they don't tell you what you owe.
No, they just want you to put your.
Yeah.
The other.
Oh, are you going to have to go to court tomorrow morning? You're like, oh no, I have to go to work. Right?
The other, that's right. The other big one
Not
was
a real thing.
Here in the state of Massachusetts, in the county of Boston. There is no county of Boston.
I was just going to say that. Absolutely.
And in fact, they got the word switched.
Yeah.
It's Suffolk County.
Yeah. 2 years ago, my wife got
wow.
not on that, but my wife got scammed. She fell for. I don't know why she fell for it, because she's pretty sharp, and it turned out that by the time I found out and I got caught we were with Navigant. Thank God for Navigant, and they had already got into my equity account because of just a telephone number, and I called Navigant. They stopped everything right away, blocked everything. I went down to the police station, and actually the captain of the detectives, who I knew, he called the number that was on there. The guy answered in Florida. And but then when he realized what it was, he hung up. But it was so close. And all she was doing, she was trying to say that this doesn't belong to me. And I said, you can't do that. You cannot answer some of this stuff.
You can't even. Don't click on any links.
Exactly.
Just delete it.
But that was scary.
If it's a legitimate debt, you're going to get a piece of mail, right?
Yeah.
But they got into my equity line.
Wow.
Unfortunately,
That's
they couldn't get
frightening.
it. But if it took one more step, they would have.
Yeah.
For a lot of money.
All right. Woonsocket police arrested a Pawtucket man on February 22nd. Police were complaining to the police. There's been a lot of increased drug traffic going on in the Blackstone Street area, and so the police did a little survey, and they arrested a man by the name of John Paul Messier, 55. He was arrested for felony possession of a controlled substance, crack cocaine, after police stopped his blue Civic in the neighborhood at 1 a.m. back on February the 22nd.
Yikes.
Yeah. And let's see. It's not good when the police pull you over and then you lie to the police. So,
yeah, generally not.
Messier allegedly lied to the police after having just emerged from a residence before driving off, prompting officers to remove him from the vehicle in a search. He was speaking with officers. A small crack cocaine fell out of his mouth.
But I've noticed even in the last couple of months, they've cracked down on a lot of narcotics. I know the Chief Oates very well for a long time. And it's funny, I was at Mount St. Charles Saturday, and I was talking to a couple of the officers there. One kid was from Cumberland, a Woonsocket officer, and I said, how is it working for Chief Oates? They said they love him.
They love Oates.
And
okay, great.
Yeah, but he's done a fantastic job.
Yeah, because he's like a cop's cop.
Oh,
you know
absolutely.
What I mean when I say
Absolutely.
that?
I had that.
Yeah.
In Chief Damaris when
Yeah.
I was mayor, and those cops are so.
Yeah, he'll sit down with rookies, whoever, sit at that same table, and then it goes a very long way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So down in North Providence, a sad situation. A man who barricaded himself in his North Providence home on Sunday died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. So, Tawanda Drive.
What's going on in North Providence?
I don't know. There's a lot
Boy,
going on in North
that
Providence.
water, something with water.
Yeah.
Something happened after 3 p.m. after the man allegedly threatened to harm his family and himself.
Yep.
Police say the family members were able to exit the home, but the suspect remained inside. had access to a gun. Yep, police brought in a clinician to negotiate, and state police sent a drone into the home after losing contact with the man. According to the police, the man was found with a self-inflicted gunshot wound to his head.
In the basement. And,
yeah.
Well, he threatened his couple of brothers, and there were about 3 people in the house that left the house.
Wow. Sad stuff right there.
Yes.
All right, we're going to take another break here on the Coffee AM program, but more coming your way. Please stick around.
Your station for news and sports. ON 1240.
Hi, this is Melissa, and here's what's happening in the Valley. St. James Church in Manville's Pasta Supper is Saturday, March 7th from 4:30 to 7:30 p.m. This all-you-can-eat pasta and meatball supper includes salad, rolls, dessert, and beverages. It's just $12 per person and $5 for children 10 and under. Tickets are available at the door, and takeout is available. For more information, call the church rectory at 401-766-1558. That takes place at Father Brindamar Hall, St. James Church, 33 Division Street in Manville. Do you have an event you'd like to share? Email us at events@onesocketradio.com.
Fans of smooth jazz, the Dave Kaz radio show can be heard right here on the one and only ON AM and FM every Sunday at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. The Dave Kaz radio show is brought to you by the Carew Investment Group and by Wright's Dairy Farm.
We are local and live at 99.5.
All right, Coffee In here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us this morning. Joe Callahan along with Bill Murray, Melissa Murray, and we're being joined by Leslie Page from the Woonsocket Harris Public Library. She's going to tell us what's going on at the library. What's going on at the library, Leslie?
Well, our regular hours are Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. We offer self-service photocopying and faxing, and our reference department provides notary services free of charge. This week, the Children's Department is offering Sensory Exploration Fun today at 10 a.m. and Wednesday, March 4th, also at 10 a.m. For more information about all children's programs, please call 767-4122. This week, the Teen Department is offering a tabletop role-playing game on Tuesday, March 3rd at 3 p.m. and storytelling through theater on Thursday, March 5th, also at 3 p.m. For more information on all teen programs, please call 767-4132. Our next Tech Tuesday will be held on Tuesday, March 10th at 1:30 p.m. Learn how to access ebooks and audiobooks on your mobile devices. Call 767-4124 to register. The next tabletop role-playing game for adults will be held on Saturday, March 7th from 1 to 3 p.m. Please call 767-4132 for more information. All of the latest information about programs, services we offer, and how to reach us can be found at our website, woonsocketlibrary.org, or on our Facebook page. If you have any questions or would like more information about anything I've mentioned today, please call us at 769-9044. And we look forward to seeing you at the library.
All right, Leslie, thank you very much. All right, in Massachusetts today, Massachusetts court is hearing a challenge to undo the gun license ban for residents under 21. Gun right activists claim that the state is not complying with a 2022 U.S. Supreme Court ruling that expanded gun rights nationwide. The court's ruling could have widespread ramifications for several gun possession criminal cases involving people under the age of 21. This could also include cases of street violence where the gun was not registered at all. Oral arguments are scheduled for this morning before the Supreme Judicial Court, which will then issue a ruling on a later date, likely months later. I'm all for the Second Amendment rights, but I really believe you need to be over 21 to own a gun. I'm really okay with that.
That was really like we did that here in Rhode Island,
yeah.
And even some of my colleagues who are gun owners are saying, it really should be 21. Unless you are military trained or you're properly trained by a police officer, that the argument is like those folks are properly trained. But
yes.
Like 21 isn't the same anymore. Like 18 isn't the same anymore. That's still a kid, and like most of the gun violence that's happening is with these young folks, and they just. Yeah, I'm in agreement. That was an easy vote for me.
Yeah,
I think,
you can ban it all you want. They're going to find.
Well, they're going to find them anyway.
So,
It's true.
But the argument is what you just said is that the you can go to war at 18.
Right,
Right.
and that's
the argument. But I
Yeah.
also agree with you fully. They're very, very well trained, and that's the problem. But there's a lot of 21-year-olds that shouldn't have a gun.
True.
You know, so
Leslie, 21 okay? Owning a gun?
I'm happy with that.
All right.
Good.
I,
did I just get outvoted by these two lovely
No,
women?
no. But if you're going to walk into Bullseye Shooting Supply right down the road here,
Yeah.
to buy a gun,
Yeah.
to legally buy a gun, I think you should be 21.
No,
in order
But you
to
can
do
still be
that.
18 and still be in high school, right? So go in on your 18th birthday and get whatever you want.
If you have the money, yeah.
If you have the money, sure. I mean,
Well, I agree with you, but
Yeah.
I still argue that if they want to get a gun, they're going to get a gun.
But this is
18,
legal.
16, 15, I don't care.
oh yeah, sure,
You know?
sure, sure.
All right, let's see what else is going on. Let's see things you shouldn't do. The New York Police Department is looking for a burglary suspect. His name is Jason Williams, but the 32-year-old may be looking. He may be more like the kissing bandit. Police say Williams forced his way into a home of a woman in Cobble Hill Thursday, grabbed her, took her to the sidewalk out front, and then every time a car or pedestrian came by, he kissed her.
What?
Police think maybe someone was after Williams and the woman was a shield to deceive them. Ooh, wow, all right.
That's New York.
He's seen a lot of
Okay,
movies.
so
He didn't hurt her and he didn't take anything from her, so
so someone's well, that's debatable.
about hurting her? Okay.
Yeah, about taking anything from her, like her dignity.
Well, nothing.
Yeah,
No
right,
jewelry, no money.
He was just
Why
friendly.
would you
He
take
was
her?
a loving
so he
guy.
took her out onto the sidewalk.
Yes, in front of her house. And then waited
Bizarro.
for a car or someone else to walk by. And then if he's out there, making out or kissing her, then the person can't see his face.
Or
hers,
he could have
and
just
then-
hid and not broken
there's-
into a woman's house and abducted
Yeah, but he was
her.
enjoying the kiss. Come on.
Oh,
Let's be.
what a weirdo.
Yeah.
But again, go to New York and you'll believe me.
No, there's
I grew
weirdos
up there.
There's the weirdos everywhere.
Do you know what Cobble Hill is in Brooklyn?
I think it's in the Brunswick area
Yeah. Okay.
of it. I got a.
Nice area of Brooklyn?
I think it is.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Oh.
But I couldn't. I haven't been to Brooklyn in years now.
It doesn't say if Mr. Williams here actually knew the woman. Maybe they were friends or an acquaintance of some sort.
Ex-wife.
It doesn't say that. They would have said if it was an ex-wife or not.
So weird.
All right. That's a large study in the United States has found that eating red meat in large amounts may be linked to a higher risk of developing diabetes.
Oh no.
One more thing to worry about.
One more thing to worry about.
I gotta raise my hand. I love red meat.
I love red meat.
Me too. Oh no! Don't tell me that.
Love red meat. Oh.
The study also
Now
found
they tell me.
that
no,
substituting red meat with plant-based proteins
no.
or other healthier protein sources could reduce the risk by as much as 14%.
But then they are also like.
It also reduces the taste by 100%.
And I'm a carnivore, but soy, you're not supposed to eat too much soy because soy is bad for you, right?
Oh,
so if you're
okay.
placing the red meat with plant-based, so you assume that it's going to be soy, and that is not good for you either. So it's kind of like, well,
I have a granddaughter who has
everything in moderation.
who's
right?
a
Exactly.
vegetarian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Has been for a long. She's about 20. I think she's 23, and they've now told her that she's got to start eating meat because she's having a lot of problems.
Yeah.
How's she
And,
taking that news?
She fought it for a while,
I
but she
bet.
did realize that
Yeah.
she's been sick for a while because of her system.
Has she
the,
started
and
eating
the doctor, yes, she did. She
Feels
did.
better?
Not really, but
No?
it's
Okay.
but it takes some time because your system is.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Is I mean, she's been a vegetarian since she's been in high school, so probably 7 years, at least 7 years.
So this study about the red meat increasing the development of diabetes. The results were published in the British Journal of Nutrition. The study's data comes from the National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey. Researchers found that individuals with the highest meat intake had nearly a 50% greater risk of developing diabetes.
Okay.
I'm still gonna eat.
Still gonna eat red meat.
Yeah.
Well, I've made it
Okay.
to 86, and I've been eating red meat for all my life, and I've had diabetes since I've been 40. So
So if you have,
I rest my case.
once a week having a steak should be okay, don't you think?
Oh yeah,
I would think.
Not,
I mean, I'm not a
every-
doctor.
Not every meal,
I
but
don't play one on TV, but like I said, everything in moderation.
Well,
That's the
okay.
problem, right? We don't moderate anything.
So speaking of red meat, the Kentucky Meat Shower Festival made its return over the weekend. We should have these around here.
Well, we have meat raffles.
The event celebrates this year being the 150th anniversary of the Kentucky Meat Shower, which took place on March 3rd, 1876. It happened near Olympia in Bath County, Kentucky, where chunks of red meat mysteriously fell from the sky, the cause of which has never been explained. Back there in 1876. So on Saturday, a festival to celebrate the event and learn about its history happened in Ogdensville, Kentucky. So
Chunks of red meat fell
out of the sky March 3rd, 1876.
Yeah, it was probably cattle that were dumped out of a plane.
In 1876? nice try, Bill.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, there were no pictures, there was no internet, there was no... maybe they made it up, I don't know.
Maybe.
Because it hasn't happened since, and we can't explain why chunks of red meat were falling out of the sky.
Unless somebody blew up some cows with like some TNT, right? Like TNT, right? Like they didn't have, I don't know, they had dynamite. Yeah. Who knows?
That is bizarre. So
I don't think I would eat meat. Or I just said I'm like an omnivore, but I would not eat like random meat that fell from the sky.
You can no. You can up in northern New England. If you hit a deer or a moose, you can go.
You can take it.
You can
claim it.
It's yours.
You can do that here too.
But if you don't want it,
you can now.
But if you hit, because this happened to my nephew, he hit a moose.
Oh my gosh!
Was it a moose? Yeah, I think it was a moose. But he didn't want the meat. So the local police have a list of people that want it.
Yeah.
So they just call the next person on the list.
Yep.
Do you want it? And if you say yes, okay, here's where it is.
Yep.
I don't know. You got a day
Yeah.
to come and get it.
It saves them from cleaning up.
That's right.
That's
and
what
they'll
it-
come and dress
that's what it
down
is.
and-
Yeah.
Was his car totaled? I mean, like
I know. I think he had to replace at least the windshield on that one. I don't know if it was
then
total
it must have
that
just been a
time.
baby moose. Oh my god! 'Cause
Yeah.
they're
They're big. They're big.
I know they're monster animals. so this is kind of cute. The Toronto Blue Jays have signed pitcher Max Scherzer for another year. It'll be his 19th in major leagues, and his daughter couldn't be happier. Seems like the family moved up there. Really likes Toronto. So his 8-year-old daughter wrote a letter to the team after they lost in the World Series last year, pleading with them to please keep her dad on the team.
So she could stay in Toronto.
So they can stay in Toronto. I don't want to go back to the United States or whatever.
Yeah.
Because the family really loves living there.
Toronto's a very, very good, nice city.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've been up there for hockey tournaments. It's a beautiful place.
Scherzer's wife, Erica May, posted the picture of the letter on Instagram on Thursday after it was announced that Scherzer was coming back at least for one more year.
the letter worked.
So the little girl helped.
You want to make a bet right now that he stays to make 20 years?
Well, probably.
That's
Yeah.
what I would guess. If they, I mean, unless something physically happens, but
But now others are going to have their little children discussed. Now you start writing letters to every team because they want to stay. So
She doesn't want to move away from her friends.
that's it.
Understandable.
That's a cute idea because they probably said, yeah, we may have to start going.
the Red Sox should
somewhere else.
get on that list.
We'll see. All right, the civil trial of Bill Cosby is set to get underway
After
today.
all this time, a civil trial?
A civil trial, and it takes place in California. A woman by the name of Donna Motzinger sued Cosby, claiming the comedian drugged and raped her in 1972 when she was working as a servant at a restaurant in Sausalito, California.
So obviously the statute of limitations hadn't run out on that.
Motzinger says she's learned Cosby will not testify in the trial. In 2021, the Pennsylvania Supreme Court overturned Cosby's previous sexual assault conviction. But we can always go after him civilly and see if we can get some cash out of him. So, all right. All right. The first lunar eclipse is going to happen this week.
Yeah.
People that like looking towards the stars and
Tuesday
things like
night,
that.
right?
total lunar eclipse is coming. This is when the Earth passes directly between the sun and the moon, casting a giant shadow on the lunar surface. Set to happen, it says Tuesday morning. But does that mean right after midnight kind of thing?
It doesn't give it time.
It's too late for
No.
me.
The moon will appear red as it's lit by sunlight filtered through the Earth's atmosphere. But it doesn't give it time. So Tuesday morning, midnight to about, I don't know, 5?
Just don't go to sleep.
Just don't.
Yeah, I'll be sleeping, probably.
And the first, this year's first lunar eclipse may just achieve the impossible. Tuesday's eclipse could see the rising of the sun and the eclipse moon at the same time. So maybe that is the time.
Oh, weird.
So it's at dawn. All right. Areas near and around the Pacific Rim have the best shot of seeing this strange occurrence. In North America, those in the Eastern time zone, that's us, will get to see the moon set during the early light of dawn during the total phase of the eclipse.
So
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Places in the far west will be able to watch the eclipse from start to finish if they want to. So.
All right. I probably will still be sleeping, though.
No, you're not. You don't want to.
You're not interested?
I mean, it's cool, but, like, I just don't know if I'll be awake, you know? Depends.
So, Bill, were you surprised that when the news came out that the Cinema World,
The what?
Cinema World in Lincoln closed on
I
Saturday?
I was.
It was their,
I
that was their
really,
final day.
I think not just me, but a lot of people.
Really surprised.
I mean, yeah, it's did you see where they have? If you have a gift certificate, you have to go to
Watertown.
Watertown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next closest.
That's what I mean. How
Great.
many?
No one's
I
gonna
know
do it.
so many people that have given out gift certificates.
Yeah.
And you imagine who's going to go to Watertown and to watch a
Nobody,
movie?
yeah.
You're
You know.
going to spend $25 in gas to get go see a free
but
movie?
But it just shows how many. Like we never. I was never a big movie guy. My wife loved it, but so many people don't go to the movies. I heard that North Attleboro is struggling.
I'm sure they are.
On
The
you know
showcase.
on I've talked to a couple of people that said, hey, you know, they're just not getting the people.
Streaming is
also
killing it,
you have to look at the ridiculous movies that are out.
Oh yeah, there's the
and no wonder
movies.
nobody's going.
And it's really expensive to go
And
to a
is it?
movie.
That's true. That's
the
very
snacks
true.
are like, it's like a $6 soda.
You wonder why
The
people
popcorn $12 or $15.
Yeah, yeah.
You wonder why people sneak in food to the movies.
Or like you said, just
Who does
stay
that?
home
Who
and
does
watch
that?
Netflix or
Joe?
whatever streaming service and you know,
Yeah.
order out. It's cheaper.
True.
But they announced it on social media, right? I think that's what they
Cinema
did. I
World?
think.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then the
And
news
then it just-
organizations
yeah,
picked it
that's
up.
where I
So,
saw
okay.
Yep.
All right, that'll wrap it up for the show for today. Thank you very much for listening in. Always appreciated. Thanks to Dan Gendron, who called in, told us about the Woonsocket City Council meeting. And Leslie Page, thanks for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, and Melissa Murray, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
All right, and Bill Murray, thanks for coming in as
Thanks
well.
again. Always enjoy it.
All right, stay tuned. I'm Joe Callahan. Have a great day. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Kim Garno with Blessings in Good Health. Coming up after the 9 o'clock news here on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. Conflict is spreading across the Middle East today after the U.S.